The time is now. If you have a problem, record yourself finding the solution. If you're starting a personal or professional project, record your growth. If you need to gain mental clarity, record your thoughts. If you're learning a new skill, record your journey to mastery. I hope you notice a pattern. The common denominator in this equation of self-transformation is documentation, as it allows you to track progress, identify key patterns, and ultimately learn from your experiences. I began documenting everything for a couple of reasons. If you're still unsure about doing it, allow me to change your mind. I've considered creating content since I was 15. I held it off because of self-limiting beliefs, but that did never escape my head. I would watch my favorite YouTubers and think, I can do that. But just as quickly as the thought came, an excuse would rise in my head as to why I couldn't do it, and I would listen until I stopped. Why? I had an epiphany. For the first time in human history, we can document our lives for our descendants to witness. I'm not just talking about my future grandchildren's children. I'm talking about their grandchildren and beyond. If they think, what was my ancestor like? They can find out for themselves. They'll see me, read this newsletter, see what the world is like now, and hear my philosophical ideas and worldviews. Now, here's a not so fun fact. Everyone alive today will be dead within the next 4 generations. Let that sink in. 4. You may not want to face that reality, so I'll do it for you. What will you leave behind? Will you even have anything to leave behind? And how do you want to be remembered? I sit for long periods deeply contemplating these questions. I may be putting too much pressure on myself. I am only 22. Some will say I have the rest of my life to ask these questions. However, most successful people would instead start their endeavors sooner. So here I am. One of my biggest goals is to leave behind an exceptional legacy. One way to accomplish this is by profoundly impacting as many people as possible. I asked myself how to achieve this, and finding an answer took no time. Social media. Social media is leverage. Since there's a set limit on the number of hours each day, there's only so many people I'd be able to reach without social media. For example, I could reach a lot of people in my city, but I can impact the entire world with an online presence, or at least close to it. Now, this may sound self-aggrandizing to some, but it's not. Why wouldn't I reach the entire world if there are tools that will help me do it? The rise of artificial intelligence is making this process entirely easy. The barrier to entry doesn't exist. Anyone can begin. My brother agreed that it was essential and is beginning to do the same. You reading this or you hearing this need to do the same. Build digital omnipresence. Join the 200 plus million creators documenting their hobbies, talents, pursuit, and life. The words creators and influencer sound intimidating to those who don't understand this meaning. But everyone's a creator. You're a creator if you're discovering groundbreaking breakthroughs in your field through scientific research. You're a creator if you craft thought-provoking works that illuminate societal issues. You're a creator if you produce new products that solve common societal problems. You're a content creator if you regularly produce content around what you create. Now, over time, this content establishes an audience, building authenticity and influence. Now, there is a shift happening, a paradigm shift, and a digital one. I see it, you see it. It's hard to miss, and even more challenging to dismiss. This shift will dramatically transform the future. In fact, it already is. Currently, we're in the age of the digital renaissance. When I hear the word renaissance, man or woman, sophisticated comes to mind. A better definition is someone possessing profound proficiency and deep comprehension across various fields, each enhancing others, resulted in heightened productivity and talent. Think of Imhotep. He was an architect, a mathematician, a sage, astronomer, physician, engineer, and philosopher. The world constantly evolves, and we must adapt to its changing environment. Now, Plato was incorrect in asserting that A man cannot excel in multiple fields, suggesting he can only excel in one. The problem is that specialization produces limitations. You place yourself in a box with little room for expansion. This box morphs into like a small cage, locking you in a specific niche and establishing a ceiling on your potential. Charles O'Rourke perfectly explains why the world needs digital renaissance leaders by saying, we need leaders who are equal parts science and art, equal parts humanity and technology, and equal parts explorer and builder. It is a complex time. We need leaders with diverse and complex experiences to guide us through it. How do you build complex experiences? By solving complex problems. Diverse experiences you accumulate will build diverse thoughts. You can bridge the gap between multiple disciplines, offering your audience a range of novel and unique perspectives. Pour into one area, and the competence will overflow, and pour into another area, overflowing and pouring into another. The cycle will continue. By pouring into these areas, you make yourself more well-rounded. Dan Cole recommends solving a personal problem first, and then productizing your solution to an audience with the same problem. The fact of the matter is that the future belongs to those who can connect, collaborate, learn, and educate. To paraphrase Daniel Cardelis, the future belongs to creative individuals obsessed with growth and creativity, and creative problem solving to differentiate themselves from machines. The fact of the matter is that a machine can replace what you do if what you do is human routine labor. But a machine cannot replace who you are if you leverage your mind. You are the only you, meaning you have unique experiences, perspectives, interests, and skills that a machine cannot replicate or replace. You have to use it. Now, Goldman Sachs estimates that the creator economy could reach $480 billion by 2027. That's a lot of guap, especially in a short time. The tides are changing. The oceanic expanse of opportunity it's too large not to swim in. Surf the digital wave before it hits the shore. Society will reward these individuals for their contributions to humanity. Now, that may sound hyperbolic to you and a little far-fetched, but it's far from that. This new economy will have two distinct groups: producers and consumers. Who do you think reaps the benefit? Well, technically both do. The consumer receives dopamine from entertainment or educating content, while the producer gets feedback and compensation, whether positive or negative. I want to be the latter. If my solutions have helped me, then they'll help other people. The same goes for you. With writing this newsletter, my thought process was around why I think it's important for people to document their entire life. To document the small things, to document their interests, to document their passions, to document their hobbies, to document their life, to document what they've learned, anything. It could be in different forms. One of the forms that you're watching this off of, social media. One of the forms that this newsletter was off of, my website. So, all you have to do is think about a personal problem that you have in your life. Solve it. Give that out to the world, because you're not the only person with that problem. And you will find a lot more fulfillment in being able to help people, because you'll have a bigger impact. I think the world is changing, and people want to have authentic relationships with people that they connect to online. By being human and by showing what you're already good at, you will have a line of people waiting to want to learn from you. You'll build an authentic community of loyal supporters who want to learn together and want to be in like-minded spaces because of what you produce. So keep that in mind. But that was all I was thinking about when I was writing this newsletter. And I'm not going to harp anymore on it. It is 4:30 a.m. So until the next one, keep this in mind. Start that journey. Document what you can. Document what you can. You won't regret it. And you'll look back on what you documented, and you'll be able to reflect on oh, this is what I thought at this time in my life. And it will make you think of how much you've grown and how much you've matured. Something we're doing. So with that being said, seize the day.